So today we're looking at etching glass jars so that you actually know what's inside this Kilner jar. Linseed, sometimes people put a label inside, some people stick a big label on the outside. I think it looks quite nice to have this glass etched like we've got over here. So to start doing this, make sure that the glass is clean and not greasy. And then what we're going to do with this glass jar is actually put a bit of tape. This is insulating tape, plastic tape, that we're going to put across the very top to use as our marker, so we make sure that the letters are going across in a straight line. So I'm going to just tip it to its side and put some of this tape across the top. So I'm making sure this is lined up with the rim of the top. So I need to just go round a bit there and on the other side. And then when I put my letters, I can make sure they're going across in a straight line, lining up next to this black tape. So I'm going to get my letters. When you get the etching kit from us, included is the tape, the letters, the spatula for putting on the etching cream and some plastic disposable gloves. The etching cream is a strong chemical. You've got to make sure it's not next to your skin, and always make sure you're using it in a well ventilated area and near running water. So for this linseed, obviously I'm looking for the letter L to start it off. This is where it's worth actually taking time, is putting the letters on, making sure they're straight and well spaced apart. So I'm going to start with just placing that here. If I'm doing 2 lines, then obviously I work out how many letters I have and make sure that the middle of each letter is underneath each word. The middle of each word is underneath each other here, so they line up perfectly. But with linseed, I'm just going to do 1 line. So I've done the L. Now finding the I. Be careful with the I's. The bottoms often curl up at the bottom, and then it wouldn't match up because you want all your lines to be the same above and below. So what I do is I put them on. I might need to move them around at the end, but that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is put duct tape around the rest of it so that I'm actually going to make a block. Now it's time to apply the armour etch. This is where I put gloves on. It's really strong chemical. Be careful also to wear eye protection. Make sure you're near water in case you get any on your skin. And you'll need to stir the pot when you start. So I'm just going to do a quick stir of the etching cream. Very strong smelling. Make sure you've got a well ventilated room because the fumes are quite pungent. Okay, so that's what it looks like inside. I've stirred it up. Now you can either apply with a spatula, which often I do. I'm just going to use something else today instead. I'm going to try with a very small paintbrush. So making sure you've got nothing on your hands, because obviously you're going to be touching the jar. I usually just lie the jar like this. Get some of your etching cream on the brush. I usually apply it quite thickly and then just load it on. Careful when you're putting it on that you're not brushing the letters off at the same time. So I'm doing it quite thickly. And once it's on, I'm going to leave it on for 5 minutes. So you can either set a pinger or just watch the clock. So as you can see, I put it on quite thick, but I can actually scrape that off and reuse it back into the pot. This pot will last a long time. So I scraped it off my brush and putting that back over there. That's how thickly I've done it. And I'm now going to time that to be on there for 5 minutes. I'm just going to get a sponge and carefully just wipe it off. Some of the labels have already dropped off, as you can see, just as I'm wiping it. So you can see we've got a beautiful straight line across here and here, and this is because we used the right plastic tape. When I first used masking tape to try and do this, it bled up and down. So it's much better if you can use the plastic so it doesn't go through, and you've got really nice straight lines. It's very easy to see what's inside the jar, and there is your etched glass jar ready to go in the cupboard.